Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nabiha binti Muhammad Hussein. My metric number is 1172084. My title of research is The Awareness of Islamic Education among Indigenous People Jahai at Kampung Sungai Rual, Jeli, Kelantan.
Background of research. The indigenous people is a Malaysian community entity created throughout the country in Peninsular Malaysia, except Perlis and Penang. The state where their existence and placement are found is Pahang, followed by Perak, Kelantan and others. Indigenous people in Kelantan are divided into two parts, Senoi and Negrito. In this research, the researcher focused on Jahai tribe, which is their community life at Kampung Sungai Rual, Jeli, Kelantan. Jahai tribe is an indigenous people from Negrito. This research motivated from researcher because she saw herself the condition of the indigenous people of Jahai, whereas some of them are still defending dogs. Therefore, among female of them do not take care of our rights properly. In fact, they also do not even care about the boundaries between men and women. Looking at the situation, it made a question for researcher what is the level of education and awareness of Islam among them. Since their community is all Muslim, we must pay attention and do what is necessary to solve the situation. Now we move to problem statement. The problem of this study is people don't know how far the understanding of indigenous people in Islamic education at Kampung Sungai Rual. Besides that, based on the statement above, it also becomes a question how far the awareness of indigenous people in Islamic education. They are well known as the obedient to their ancestors. Despite converting to Islam, the faith community is still mixed with aspect animism and supernatural. Also, it would be a worry if they still believe and adhere to custom and prohibition to their own religion. Next is research question. And the first is, how does the development knowledge about Islamic education among indigenous people? Second, what is the factor of lack information about Islamic education towards indigenous people? Third is, what is the level of awareness in Islamic education among indigenous people? Next is research objective. The first research objective is to develop the knowledgement of Islamic education among indigenous people. Second is to identify the factor of lack information about Islamic education. The third is to investigate the level of awareness in Islamic education among indigenous people. Now we move to significance of research. This study will be significant endeavors in promoting the knowledgement about awareness of Islamic education into indigenous people. Moreover, this research will provide recommendation on how to help them to become more awareness and encourage them to make improvement in Islamic education. In this study, it will show the outsider about the life of indigenous Muslim in Jeli, Kelantan. Then, the study also wanted to inform the outside community that indigenous people need help to improve their quality of life as Muslim. In addition, this study will also be beneficial to the agency responsible for religious matters such as JAKIM and the State Islamic Religious Department, which are they usually preaching and make a development of Islam among the indigenous community. It will also serve a future reference for those students who are to write a degree, master and PhD, whereas the study will fulfill the needs of their research. Literature review. Previous study shows that there are many works have been conducted in the field of awareness of Islamic education among indigenous people Jahai in Kampung Sungai Rual, Jeli, Kelantan. Topic of research conducted cover on the topics such as from the source is about the original indigenous people. Hamid is a 2014 mentioned in his article entitled Asal Usul Orang Asli Fakta dan Fiktif is about the origin of indigenous people come from. The scope of research is focusing on where is the originating place, arrival of indigenous people in Malaysia and their population. In addition, the research found that it is extremely difficult to determine the origin of the indigenous people, but based on archaeological and historical evidence, there is a genetic variation mixed among them. Next is, according to Abdul Razak and Zalizan Jelas 2009 state in their article entitled Kesedaran Pendidikan dalam kalangan masyarakat orang asli, is about to aim and find out the extent of awareness indigenous people to the importance of their children education. The scope of the research is focusing in extent of awareness indigenous people toward education and the factor that motivate them to make education a way to improve their life. In addition, the research found that the awareness of education among indigenous children has been around for a long time, but cultural influence have stifled their mentality to change the style and standard of living. Next is research methodology. In research methodology, there are 5 components. The first is research design. Research design for this research is survey, while the type of study used is a quantitative study. The quantitative study is a method that highlights the objective measurement and statistical, mathematical or numerical analysis of data collected through polls, questionnaires, and survey, or by manipulating the existing statistical data using computational techniques. The second is data collection. For this research, the method that has been selected is survey. The survey will be distributed among the indigenous people in the village. The collection of data will be conducted in 2 days, as the place that will be used to assemble them is unable to fit all of them in one time. The survey will be conducted according to the suitability and comfort time of respondent. Respondents will be grouped in several groups and will be given time to answer the question. The survey will be collected on the same day that has been set. The third is instrument. The instrument that will be used in this research is questionnaire. Question will be structured and planned according to the objective and research problem. The questionnaire will be handed out in the physical form through the use of paper. Thus, the questionnaire will be prepared and distributed to the respondent in the form of hard copy to facilitate the survey season. The fourth is sample. The population for this research is 130 people from Kampung Sungai Rual, which is a village of indigenous people in Jeli, Kelantan. Random sampling is intentionally chosen sample according to the needs of the study. The sample size consisted of 97 indigenous people. People involved in the selection for the sample size are adults only. And lastly is data analysis. The analysis of data is very important in research. The data analysis produced are based on objective and research questions that have been structured. After obtaining the result, the questionnaire will be analyzed statically using statistical package for social science (SPSS) through the use of frequency and statistical percentage. The result from the questionnaire will be presented in the form of table and chart.